Today, I was thinking we would focus a little bit more on seated forward bends in general. Um, I don't do them. My emphasis usually is more on backward bends. I remember when I first started doing yoga, my initial teachers would do a lot of forward bends, and then I found a teacher that did backward bends, and I think generally backward bends are more beneficial because a lot of the time we're bending over computers and things like that. So I think opening up, doing a nice backward bend is really good. However, forward bends do help to open the hamstrings, which is good. Just be careful with the back when you're doing a forward bend that you're not putting pressure on the back. Try not to round the back too much. So we'll work our way to that. Also, I found this video, quite often we do a little core work to begin with. If you remember this one, we start off with a series doing this one. I found a video where it's similar, but you actually bringing the hips off the ground, enough so you can slide the hands through. So we'll be doing the easy version and then that more difficult version, and when you're lifting the hips up, keeping the knees in, it works the core a little bit more. So before that, let's just start off seated, resting the hands on the knees, close the eyes. Get tall. Bring all your attention to the breath, starting to take longer, deeper breaths. So we're breathing in and out through the nose. Each inhale, we're trying to pull in a little bit more air, a little bit more oxygen, filling those lungs, expanding the ribs. Exhale, trying to make the exhale just as long as the inhale. Long, slow, deep breaths. Focusing on the breath, it brings calm to the body, especially with the eyes closed. It brings more focus, you get less distracted, reduces the stress. Keep those shoulders nice and soft. Keeping the hands or wrists on the knees, start bringing the right shoulder forward, up, back and down. Just rotating that right shoulder. And then the other side, bring the other shoulder forward, up, back and down. And then moving the shoulders up and down, just trying to loosen up a little bit. And then become totally still. On the next inhale, pull the shoulders up towards the ears, as high as you can. See if you can touch the ears, and on the exhale, just let go. Just let the shoulders drop. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, let go. One more inhale, up. Exhale, let go. Bring the right arm up. Extend the right arm in front of you, parallel to the ground. Retract the shoulder back slightly. And start pulling that arm in a little closer. You've got to pull above the elbow. And find an easy stretch, get tall. Inhale. Exhale, start pulling that arm in a little closer. Inhale. Exhale, the arm comes in a little bit closer. 2, 3 more breaths. And then just start adding a twist. So we're twisting towards our left side. If you're pulling the right arm in, you're twisting towards the left. Inhale, we unwind. We bring the other arm up, shoulder back, and we start pulling that arm in. Just a nice easy stretch. Going deeper on the exhales. And then we start adding the twist. And then we come back to neutral. Interlace the hands, the fingers, extend the arms forward, shoulders back. Good stretch on the fingers here, the wrists. And then we start bringing the arms up, trying to frame the face. And then just shake the hands out. Okay, come onto your hands and knees. Let's do cat-cow a few times. Warming the back up. Inhale, belly down, head up. Exhale as you round the back and tuck the chin. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling into cat. Inhale. Exhale. We're trying to get that movement working from the base of the spine, just like a wave, up into the neck. And then come into neutral. Make sure you've got plenty of room behind you. This time we're going to add the leg. So as we inhale, we bring the right leg up, we look up, and on the exhale, we bring the knee in, tucking the chin. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee comes in. And we'll just repeat this a few times. And then we switch, inhaling other leg up, looking up, exhale, knee in, tucking the chin. Inhale, extend, exhale, knee in. And just repeat this one. You're taking your time, don't move too fast. And then come into child's pose, supporting the head, just relax. Okay, so we're going to do that little bit of core work. And we'll start off on our backs. And we're just going to keep the back nice and low, tailbone down to begin with, and we're just pulling the knees in, keeping the knees bent, and we just lightly touch the ground with the toes. That's all we're doing. Nice and easy, gentle, pretty gentle exercise, but it is working the core. If you bring your hands on your belly, you can feel those muscles working, especially the lower abs. We do this quite often. But the next one, similar, like I showed you earlier, but we're going to bring the hips up high enough so you could just about slide the hands in. And you want to try and move with the breath. So whenever you're ready, we lift the hips up and then the feet come down. And I'm actually pushing into the ground with my hands a little bit to help come up and down. And you're working harder here. Just do as much as you can. If this bothers the back, just revert to that first style with the tailbone down on the ground. This is a hard one. but you're going to get more benefit from this as long as your back is feeling good. A couple more, and then slowly come down. That's a tough one. Just do what you can, we're all different. Feet a little bit wider than hips, and we take the knees over from side to side, windshield wipers. Again, it's a little bit of workout for the core, and we're getting a little bit of mobility, trying to increase the mobility in the spine, adding that twist. We want to move with the breath. Inhale as the knees come up, exhale down. You don't need to go too fast. I was going a little bit fast to begin with. Windshield wipers. Another version of windshield wipers, and this version is going to work the obliques a little bit more. We bring the legs up to the ceiling, 90 degrees between the legs and the torso, arms at about 45 degrees. We take the legs over to one side, about halfway down, back up, and then over to the other side. Arms are helping to go down nice and slow, and to help bring the legs back up. So go down far enough so it's a bit of a challenge, but not so far that it's too difficult. And if you get tired of doing this, you can do the windshield wipers with the feet on the ground. We're going slowly from side to side, strengthening that core, strengthening the obliques, adding a little bit of twist as we go from side to side. A couple more each side. And then we bring the feet down to the ground. And we relax for a breath or two. Some isometric work to strengthen the legs. Knees come in. We take the palm of the hands on either side of the thigh, just below the knee, gap between the knees, and we try and squeeze those legs together. Legs resist. Arms working a lot, legs working. You breathing. We make fists with the hands. We bring the fists inside the thighs, again just below the knees. This time we're trying to separate the legs. And then we take hold of the back of the legs. We're trying to pull the legs in, but the legs resist. Palms onto the front of the thighs for this one, and we're trying to push the legs away. A lot of core work, so not only the legs but the core is resisting this one. Arms working a great deal, breathing. And release. Take a breath or two. And then bring the hands behind the legs and just rock yourself up. Back onto the hands and knees. Downward facing dog. Bring the feet a little bit closer, start walking the dog. Bending one knee as you straighten the opposite leg. Take your time. Good stretch on the calf muscles here. Hold one leg straight, one knee bent. Get more length from the hands all the way through to the hips. Other leg bent, other knee bent. We look forward, we walk forward between the hands. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale as you fold forward. head relaxed. Inhale, we come all the way up. And then back into mountain. A few half salutes. Inhale, reach up. Look up. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale into mountain. Inhale, reach up. Look up. Take a bit of a back bend. Exhale as you fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again, head relaxed. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale, mountain. Don't forget to bend the knees if you need to. If you can't touch the ground with the legs straight, bend the knees. Keep that back safe. Inhale, arms up. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale into mountain. Okay, so let's come to the front of the mat. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, we fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, this time we plant the hands, we walk into plank. We bring the knees down, we bring the chin, chest forward and down. Inhaling into cobra, make sure the shoulders are not shrugged up. Exhale, downward facing dog. We've had hold down dog a breath or two. We look forward, we walk forward between the hands. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale as you fold forward. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale, back into mountain. Inhale, reach up. A little bit of a back bend. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Try to get the back flat. Exhale, we plant the hands. We walk or jump back into plank. Chaturanga on knees, chin, chest to ground. Inhaling into cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold down dog for a breath or two. We look forward, we walk forward between the hands. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Knees bent this time if you want. Into chair and then all the way up. So this time we're going to work our way into warrior one. One side, then the other side. Inhale, chair. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. We're back in plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling to up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up to the ceiling, extended down dog. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. We're in warrior one. We hold warrior one for 2 or 3 breaths. On your next exhale, we come back into plank. Chaturanga. Up dog, down dog. We inhale the left leg up. Exhale, we sweep it through. Warrior one, other side for a breath or two. We're back into plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling to up dog, opening that chest. Exhale, down dog, 2 or 3 breaths. We look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale, folding forward, knees bent. We're back in chair. And then we come all the way up. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. We're back in plank. Chaturanga on knees, chin, chest to ground. Elbows in. Upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. Warrior one, stay in warrior one. This time, we're going to hold warrior one, but just swivel on the heels. So we're in warrior one in the other direction. And then on an exhale, we come into Warrior Two. The Warrior Two, I'm going to go a little deeper, so I'm going to take the feet a little bit wider apart. And if you sink, keep that front knee over that front ankle, shoulders soft. You're looking over that front leg, keeping that knee nicely lined up with the foot. We then swivel on the heels and we do Warrior Two in the other direction. We then turn the feet so we're facing the long edge of the mat. We take the feet a little bit wider and we bring our hands down underneath the shoulders. You can use a block if you want. You're trying to keep the back as neutral as you can. You're trying to keep the feet nice and parallel. We bring the right hand onto the block or onto the ground. We open the chest. We stack the arms. That top arm you're keeping nicely lined up with the back. You're breathing. Don't drop the head. And then we switch, left hand down, open the chest first, and then bring the other arm up slowly. Keep it nicely lined up with the back. Keep that top shoulder safe. And we bring the hand down. Now this next one, a little bit more challenging, but this is more of a classical yoga pose. As we bring the hands between the legs, so the fingers are lined up with the feet, and I'm pushing into the mat. So I'm pushing in and pushing away, trying to get more of a dog tilt as I tuck my chin and bring the head a little bit closer to the ground. And then we bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. Be careful with that last one. It can be a little bit of a pressure on the back. So we're going to go from side to side with the breath. Straighten one leg as you bend the opposite knee. Getting a little bit more of a stretch on the inside of the legs here. And then we're going to hold one leg straight, one knee bent. So the straight leg, make sure that foot is solidly on the ground. You're pushing the outer edge of the foot into the mat. So try not to come onto the inside of the foot. You're pushing the outside of the foot into the mat. Inhale, exhale to the other side and hold that. And then we walk the feet together, heel toe, heel toe. And then we start rolling up. Inhale as the arms come up. Exhale, back into mountain. Take the arms to the side. We're in a standing position. Arms extended over to the side, lines of energy through those arms. We bring the right arm under the left arm. We're coming into eagle arms. We touch the nose with the thumb. And then we bring the arms up. Take 3 or 4 breaths. We release. We extend the arms. We bring the the left under the right arm. Touch the nose. And then bring the arms up. Release. Extend the arms again. Right arm under left arm. Eagle arms. This time we're adding chair. And then if you want, you can add the legs. You bring in the right leg on top. You squeeze the legs and maybe hooking the foot. Once you're there, you recenter, you lean back, you go a little bit lower. Breathe, maybe bring the arms up. And release. Challenging pose. Shake the arms out, move those shoulders. Extend the arms. Left arm under the right arm. Chair. Left leg on top. Squeeze those legs together. and then maybe hook the foot. Once you've hooked, or once your legs are wherever you like them to be, center the arms, lift the arms up, lean back, go a little deeper, a little lower, and release, and shake out, move those shoulders. Okay, we're going to go down onto the mat, and I'm going to have a strap. You don't necessarily need a strap, but it might be useful. Actually, I'm going to turn this way so the sun isn't right in my eyes. So I'm going to bring the strap around the ball of my right foot. I'm bringing the leg up towards the ceiling, and we're just getting a gentle, just a very easy stretch in the back of the leg. If you don't have a strap, you can hold onto the leg or you can hold onto the foot, but a strap helps. Most of you should have straps. So the strap is around the right foot, so I'm going to wrap the strap around my right hand. So I've got a nice grip. So the back is totally supported in this one, and we're stretching out the hamstring, and we can gradually go a little bit deeper with the breath. And just hold this for 3 or 4 breaths. As I say, you could be holding onto the big toe, or the foot, or the back of the leg if you don't have a strap. Now with this, what we do next, we keep that left hip grounded. Try not to let the left hip come up as you take that top leg over to the side. Then you start pointing the toes towards the ground, heel up, getting an external rotation of the leg. Try and keep both hips grounded. The leg is probably not going to go all the way down. We inhale the leg back up, and then we switch. After this, what we're going to do is seated forward bends, and it's similar to this, except the orientation of the body is similar, except we're in a seated position. We're wrapping the strap around the left hand. We start going into a little deeper stretch, not too intense. So you've got a really good grip with that left hand, and you're going to keep that right hip grounded, so you can push that right hand into that bony hip if you want. We take the top leg over to the side, keeping that opposite hip grounded. We then start turning the toes down, heel up. We inhale the leg back up. And we put the strap to one side, pull the knees in, and we rock ourselves up. In the seated position, Tadasana, we're going to bring the left foot inside the right leg. So I'm doing the side view here, so you can actually see as I bend forward. There's a couple of things to be careful with. We can reach for the foot. If that is a challenge, if you're really tight in the hips and tight in the hamstrings, this might be a bit of a challenge. You might be rounding the back a lot. What I ask you to be careful of is try not to round the back too much. We're trying to bring those hips a little bit more forward. So if you've got a strap, say, you can use the strength and you can bring those hips a little bit more forward. You see my hips are coming, so my back is getting a little bit more neutral as I start to fold forward. Whether you're using the strap or onto the foot, you're trying to get that action. If you feel anything in the back, it's just a gentle stretch, nothing more than that. This extended leg, kneecap, toes towards the ceiling, you engage in the quads, and we slowly come down. Eventually, once you become super flexible, the whole body is going to come into contact with that leg, and you can hold on to the opposite wrist as you come all the way down. But just be careful when you're doing this version on your back. Your back is totally protected. When you're doing it seated, you've got to be a little bit more careful, more aware of what's happening to the back. Other side, I'll give you a different view. Left leg is extended, right foot is inside the leg. So my right foot is above the knees, right on the inside of the high part of the inner thigh. And then again, you can use a strap if you want. Get a good grip. We lift up, we try and pull those hips forward as we start to hinge forward. Anything in the back is, as I say, it's a nice gentle stretch. And we just hold this for a little bit. And then we come back up. So there's a few variations on this pose. So in Ashtanga yoga, the first variation is they take, let's switch legs again. So my right leg is extended forward. Is you're actually on the heel, the inside of the heel. So you lift up and you come, you've got the heel pushing into the perineum on this one. And then you fold forward. So this raises the hips up a little bit, so you can go a little bit further forward. Bit of pressure on the perineum here, but that's one of the variations in Ashtanga. And then again, you can use the strap, and then of course you've got to do the other side. So we're sitting on the heel, heel's pushing into the perineum, and then we fold forward. So, we can do about 4 or 5 breaths on each side. Third variation in Ashtanga is we take, so the right leg is extended, and we take hold of the left leg, and we bring the arm under the leg and take hold of the foot. So I'm trying to twist the foot a little bit, so I'm onto my toes, and I'm trying to get the foot in nice and close. So my toes are totally tucked, so there's a really good stretch on the toes, and the heel, ideally the heel is directly above the toes. I can't quite get there. This knee is coming closer to the ground, be kind to the knee. And then again we fold forward. And for me, the position of this leg restricts how far I can fold forward. But this is I find it a little bit of a stretch here. Don't let it bother the knee. And the toes have been nicely stretched out on this one as well. So this is the third variation that they do in Ashtanga. And then we switch. And sometimes they'll do a little vinyasa between each one. So this one, left leg is extended. So I'm supporting my right leg. I take the foot. So I don't know if you can see what I'm doing with the foot. I'm actually trying to turn the toes down, heel up, as I bring the toes inside the thigh. Heel up, and then I start folding forward. And then we come out. A little bit of a variation for you guys. Pull the feet in, come into plank. Chaturanga, inhaling into up dog, exhale downward facing dog. Hold down dog a breath or two. We look forward, we jump or walk forward between the hands. We come into a seated position. So this time both legs are forward, and again we can use a strap. So forward bend with both legs extended forward, or you can hold on to the feet. Let's try it with the strap. We can rock from side to side, get a little bit more space. We come up, a lot of arm strength. We're pulling those hips a little bit more forward as we start to fold forward. Maybe rock again. Keep the back happy, no stress on the back. And you don't have to go too far forward. We're just trying to stretch out the hamstrings a bit. Anything in the back is a nice gentle stretch. And we're breathing. And we come back up. We bring the hands either side of the hips. Reverse plank, or if you'd rather, you could do a reverse tabletop. We lift the hips up. And I'm going to try and bring my toes to the ground as I carefully take the head back. Breathe. And then we come down. We pull the feet in. We're back on our hands and knees. We're into downward facing dog. And then we come into child's pose. And we hang out in child's pose. So a few forward bends, and as I say, be careful with forward bends. I'd much rather do backward bends. Actually, let's do some backward bends. Come on to your back. So what we're going to do, we're going to go up and down into bridge. And we'll go up on the inhale and down on the exhale. Feet parallel. Whenever you're ready, inhale, pushing the lower back into the ground, lifting those hips up. Exhale, we come down, bringing down the upper back, mid back, lower back. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, down. Moving slowly. Momentarily relax at the end of the exhale. Inhale up. Exhale, down. Inhale up, exhale down. Legs are working as you come up and down. So next time you're in bridge, hold bridge. Interlace the hands, interlace the fingers, walk the arms and shoulders nice and close. Pushing the arms and the hands into the ground, head is pushed into the ground. Really work to keep those legs parallel. Try not to let the knees splay out. And keep the gaze towards the ceiling. Those that want to hop into wheel pose, you bring your hands either side of the shoulders. So my fingers are pointing out slightly. I walk the feet in a little bit closer. And then I'm just going to pop onto the top of my head, reposition the hands, and then pop myself up, coming into wheel. Hold wheel as long as you like. Breathe. If you're not in wheel, you can just stay in bridge. You're breathing, you're trying to straighten the arms a bit more, you're pulling the chest away from the feet, getting that whole front body opening. You're coming down. Before you land, tuck the chin and slowly come back down and relax. If you're still in bridge, you can come back down onto your back, pull the knees in and rock from side to side. So that was unexpected, right? And then let's do child's pose, and you'll realize why we're doing this soon. We're holding onto the feet. We're trying to get the legs a little bit closer to the ground. Next, we hold onto the big toes. And we try and extend the legs into a V position, keeping the tailbone nice and low. And you're pulling the shoulders away from the ears. So we're getting a good stretch, legs are wide apart. Then eventually they're making a V position. You're trying to keep the tailbone low. You're pulling the shoulders down, pushing the heels out. You're getting a good stretch down the inside of the legs. Breathe. Keep hold of the toes, lift the head up, and we're just going to rock ourselves up, trying to balance on the sit bones, keeping the feet off the ground. And then we re-extend the legs into a V. Sometimes it's not that easy to rock up. Come back into a seated position. Extend the legs wide. So the legs are back in a V. So we did this, we warmed up a little bit when we were in the happy baby. This is, in my opinion, one of the most challenging yoga poses for me. You need open hips, you need nice flexible hamstrings, you need a flexible back. Take the feet pretty wide apart. And then we're doing that dog tilt. So if you push your hands into that crease on the inside of the thigh, as we bring those hips forward, and then you can bring the hands down, you're pushing the heels out, toes up, and we can maybe come onto the forearms. Maybe you're staying high up like this. As I say, this is a tough one. We don't do this very often. You're getting a really good stretch down the inside of the legs here. So if you ever watch the gymnastics on the Olympics, for instance, you know, people will just come down here. They're doing the splits. They come all the way down. I think it's quite amazing. But for us, we just take our time. Do it nice and slow. We don't go all the way down because it's going to mess our backs up. So we're going to be conscious of how our backs are feeling. Do not hurt your back, please. Don't force yourself. Just take your time. Find your limits. But eventually, as you hold this one, you can go lower and lower. Maybe you can get the head all the way down. Maybe you can get, if you're super flexible, the belly will start touching the ground and then the chest. But take your time on this one. Bring the hands behind the knees just to assist. And then bring the soles of the feet together. Baddha Konasana. We're holding onto the feet and we're just going to rock a little bit. And as you rock, you're getting the hips, the sit bones a little bit closer to the heels. Become still. Lengthen the spine. Flap the wings. It's also called butterfly pose. So we can flap the wings of the butterfly. Then we become still. And we're trying to bring those legs a little bit closer to the ground. And you're breathing. So I'm using quite a lot of arm strength here to get those hips further forward. I'm trying to encourage those knees down. If you find your knees are high up and your back is well rounded, I suggest you sit on a block or a cushion. And then we release. We come onto our backs. Extend. Got to flip again. That sun's way onto my eyes again. It's that time of year where the sun is probably going to ruin my video as well. Right leg extended on the ground, left knee's pulled in. So you're just pulling it into the ribs. And we hold this one. And then we switch, pulling the other knee in. And then we switch again. Now we're going to add a twist. So we're pulling that left knee in, and I'm going to shift my hips slightly over to the left. As the knee comes towards the right side, I'm extending my left arm, looking over the left shoulder. Try and keep the shoulders grounded. We unwind, we pull both knees in and we rock from side to side. And then we extend left leg, right knee pulled in. I'm going to shift my hips slightly over to the right as I come into the twist. Shoulders grounded, palm up of that extended arm, and breathe. Come out of the twist, hug the knees again, and just rock. Bring the hands onto the knees and just circle in one direction. A little bit of a massage to the sacrum here. And then we circle in the other direction. And then we take a full body stretch, legs extended, arms extended over the head, trying to get length. And then we add a little bit of a side stretch, getting into that crescent shape, stretching out one side of the body. And then we stretch out the other side. And recenter. And this time, Supta Baddha Konasana. We walk the feet in and we bring the soles of the feet together. Another version of butterfly. Hands can be on the floor, on your belly. Some people like to rest the hands on the legs. Just gently encouraging the legs down. Eyes closed, breathe. Try and let all that tension in the hips melt away. If this bothers the hips or the knees, come out of the pose, come into Shavasana, or you could slide blocks underneath the legs just to support the legs. So I like Supta Baddha Konasana. I like to bring my hands on the thighs and just sort of gently encourage the hips to open a bit more. And it's almost like you're trying to breathe into those hips. You're using the breath. Trying to relax, especially on the exhales. Trying to let that tension just melt away. Whenever you're ready, Shavasana, extending the legs, letting the feet relax, bringing the arms either side of you, palms face upward, keeping length in the neck, and just sink into the ground. Maybe moisten the lips a little, eyes closed. Just letting yourself get heavier and heavier. Feeling as if you're becoming one with the earth, melting into the earth. Just make sure you're not holding tension anywhere. No tension in the shoulders, the face, no tension anywhere. And then start to stretch out the hands. And then stretch out the toes. And then just relax the hands and the feet. Stretch out again, hands, toes. And then relax. One more time, stretching out the hands and the toes. And then relax. Walk the feet in. And just roll over onto your side. Eyes closed. Taking a breath or two. And then just gently push yourselves into a seated position. Resting the hands on the knees. Eyes closed. Keeping focus on the breath. Try and become still. Try not to be distracted. Sometimes if you feel you're being distracted, maybe add a count to the breath, kind of 4 or 5 as you breathe in, 4 or 5 as you breathe out. And then start bringing the right ear to the right shoulder, stretching out the left side of the neck. Just letting the weight of the head stretch the neck out. Keep the side stretch. Bring the head slightly forward. And then take the head more backward. And then inhale the head up to neutral. Take the head over to the other side. Keep that side stretch of the neck as you bring in the head a little forward. And then backward. And then head comes up to neutral, up to center. Turn the head over the right shoulder. Let the movement follow the eyes, turning the eyes behind you. Inhale to neutral. Exhale, turning the head in the other direction. Inhale back to neutral. Chin to the chest. Bring the hands behind the head. Encouraging the chin in a little closer. And then come back up neutral. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale as they come down. Inhale as the arms come up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Keep the palms together. Namaste.